Okay, great. So now let's go back to our editor here, and we need to create, basically create a route for this. So we know it's passing data through as it should. We'll go axios.post. This is actually going to be a put request, all said and done, but we'll say data / users / we could do users updates. Yeah, I'm going to say users updates. That's what I'll put through as the route. And we'll say password. So the idea of the updates one is just if we're going to update an individual password in the system or something else, maybe a name, email address, something like that, then we can handle those now individually. And we're probably going to share a lot of these ones with not just administrators, but with the users who own that particular user model, meaning that they are that specific user that they're trying to update. Password, we'll need to add this.user, and we'll need to pass through some data in here. So the data is going to be, first of all, method, because we need to spoof this as a put request. And we'll just say password, and that's going to be this.data.password. And we'll say confirm password. Confirm password. That's all we should need in there. And we'll say .then response. And right now we'll just console log the data of that response out in our console. Okay, great. So now let's go to that. Let's go create those routes and the controllers that we need for those routes. So we'll go down to routes, web, data, users prefix, logs. So let's say route updates. You know, this is, so actually prefix. This, you could actually come back and even refactor some of this. Like maybe where you're updating, you could, you know, updating the actual user, that could be done up here as well. I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's really necessary because, you know, things aren't really jumbled up at the moment. Things are very clear, in my opinion, anyways, as to the structure and, you know, where we can find what we need to find. Okay, great. So route, no, we just need to do actually a put request. And I'm going to say, in this case, password, and then we're going to pass through the user on this one. And let's see here, password. Be updates, user updates controller. At password. Okay, great. User updates controller at password. So let's go ahead. Let's create that method. I mean, I could do something else in here, like, you know, user password controller or password updates controller. Update password controller. You know, how many things could we update? I'm going to make this future proof, basically. Because, I mean, the system we are building out, well, it is a full-fledged user management system, probably something that you're going to extend based on, you know, if it's your own clients or your own applications needs. So let's call this update passwords controller. And then in this case, all we have to do is use the update method. Oopsie daisy, update. And you see how we now keep all of our controllers with the same general set of methods. We've organized it in such a way. So we'll make our controller here. And the controller is going to be data, /users, /updates, and update passwords controller. Update passwords controller. Okay. Control P, update passwords controller. Great, update passwords controller, fantastic. So public function update. And then in here, we'll bring across our request. Well, yeah, let's bring across our request first of all. And bring across the user. And we'll bring in that namespace. Control-Alt-A. Oops, yeah. Oh, okay. Oops, Control-Alt-I there. Okay, great. App user. And let's just simply return our request back. So we'll say return request all. So we'll return it back as an array of all the values in there. Okay, let's refresh this. I'm going to pull that up. We'll enter in some random values here. We'll update that. Error code 404. Okay, let's find out what's going on. Updates password. So data users updates password. This.user. Okay, let's see what this looks like over in data. So data users updates password. Data users updates password. This.user, so I actually have to do this.user ID because we're basically trying to send the whole object across to them. So, okay, so let's do this. Password. Okay, great. So this is what we're getting put back to us. Basically the request that we sent off, so we know everything's hooked up and it works that way. Let's go ahead and create the update user password request. So let's create that request. So PHP artisan make request update user password request. Okay, so let's bring that one in. Control-Alt-I, and I'll go to the definition there. Great. So this one we're gonna do. This one we can secure two different ways. One, either the authenticated user's ID has to match the user, or it has to be an administrator. So very simply, we will bring an auth here, and we'll say if user is admin, or auth ID is equal to this route, because we'll pull out the user detail in there, this route user. Okay, great. So this should work if we're an administrator or if we are the specific user that's trying to make the change. Now, we have two keys here, so password and confirm password. We're going to create an array of validations here. So one, this is definitely required. We want to have a minimum of 10 characters. And with the regex, we want lowercase in there. We want an uppercase as well. And again, just like I specified before, I do it this way so that it's much easier to read and understand. Basically, all of these have to return as being as true, right? When they pass the string through. And in here as well, we want to send some special characters through. So exclamation mark, we're going to do the @ symbol, hash, dollar, basically any of those, and we're good. The other thing is we also need to be same as confirm password. Now we can put in confirm password in here, and all we really have to put down here is required because we've tested most of the validation up top, right? So we should be good to go in here. Okay, great. Let's throw some errors and see what they are. on the front end. So let's go ahead and we'll log out, change user passwords. We'll set it so, actually in the next video, we'll take care of that.